Hey everyone, I'm Holly Mordini, founder of Stroke of Beauty. Thanks for joining me today. I am really crazy about brows, as I know we all can be, and I have been on a mission for brows. Yeah, I want to define them. I want to create a shape that's fantastic, but I want to give them the look of more volume. I don't want to just define and draw that edge. I want to shade my brow so that it looks natural. I want to volumize my brow so that it looks thicker and fuller and younger and just better. So I'm going to introduce you to two products that I use every single day of my beauty routine, and that is the Stroke of Beauty Dual Dimension Sculpting Brow Pencil. It comes in taupe and brunette, and I'll talk about that in a moment. And also the Fiber Brow Gel. It's called Density Plus. Also comes in taupe and brunette, and we'll talk about why those are important. But as you can kind of tell, they're companion products. So if you are like me and it's not just defining that you want to achieve, you really want that fuller, more voluminous brow, those are the two products to grab. So, all right, well, there's something really special that I want you to know about the dual tone sculpting brow pencil, and that is that there are two shades in each bullet. So there's a lighter shade and a deeper shade, and they are combined into the bullet, yet, you know, on separate ends of the angle, which I do love. I do love an angle, which is why we designed it like that. This is gonna add subtle shading, okay? So think of it as shading the brow and sculpting the brow, because I definitely am going to add, you know, definition right at the baseline of the brow, which is at the lower edge, and make that crisp line. But then I'm going to shade the two colors that are in the pencil, you know, holding the brush kind of perpendicular to my face, and shade those two shades all the way through the brow, and it really just gives such a more believable brow but multi-dimensional effect. Whereas if you use a brow pencil that has one color, you get one-dimensional brows, and that's how it can look flat and a little contrived. So with the dual tones in each, and there is a taupe, as I mentioned before, and a brunette. So if your hair is dark brown to black hair, you'll choose the brunette. If your hair is very light blonde like mine, all the way to the medium brown, you're gonna choose the taupe. And it's 16-hour wear. I love that so much, and waterproof. So it really stays all day. So we decided to get started. All right, I am no stranger to a live before and after. So as you can see, just with the pencil alone, now mind you, I'm gonna go in with the Density Plus Fiber Brow Gel, but you can see that it's subtle, it's shading, it really is defining the outer edges of the brow, and then just layering the pigment into the body of the brow with short little strokes. It's just, you know, almost like a little stipple motion that you're doing and brushing up. It also has the spoolie on the other end, which makes it really easy. Here's a little tip, I know, because this happened to all of us. If you feel like, ooh, I've just defined it a little bit too much, rather than brushing this way, which that will get you there, try going in the opposite direction, and it really does kind of blend it in, you know, a little bit better, and then lift going the way that you naturally, you know, that your brow hair naturally grows. All right, so after the dual tone pencil, dual dimension sculpting brow pencil, that is, I'm gonna volumize my brows. It's kind of like, think of mousse for your brow. This is Density Plus Fiber Brow Gel. Density Plus is very different. You know, there are fiber brow gels out there on the market, but I don't know about you. When I would use them, I loved them for a while, and then my brow hairs, I guess are a little bit longer, would start to drop right in the arch. And that's so frustrating because you spend all that time getting that arch, you know, so perfected that if I'm going to use a gel and if I'm going to get the volume, I want it to stay looking the way that I have placed it. So we made our fibers extra long. They are elongated fibers that are super lightweight. That's another thing. Not all fibers are the same weight. So we test drove a lot of different combinations into this formula and absolutely feel that this one lasts all day, keeps the arch up there, but most importantly to me, and for all of you that have, you know, fewer brow hair than you had at one time, this really gives the look of a more, of a brow with more volume. And it's like the fibers build a bridge between each brow hair that you have and just make it look fuller. It's like a web that they weave to just, add that volume and emphasize the hair, which is so fantastic. It is tinted, and as I mentioned before, it's taupe or brunette. They coordinate with the dual dimension sculpting brow pencil. So I'm going to use the taupe, and literally it's just combing through, and I'll show you just a little technique tip that I think will make it really super easy for you. And if you want to use this on casual days alone, it will help too. So you see how I am kind of dragging it at the base on some casual days, or I just don't, have time to really use both products in my brow. This is really fantastic because I definitely can get, a fuller look and definition because it's tinted. But when I want to create that baseline, I just kind of drag the brush at the baseline of the brow and then lift it up throughout the brow. Oops. And if you happen to go a little further than you thought you would, it just lifts right off. It does dry down, and that's the hold, but it never looks hard or, dry. It really looks like, your hair has a natural reflection, so it really always gives the look of a natural, untouched brow, even though we've just helped it a little bit. But you can see on the side, I don't know if I turn this way, you can see, but it really does give the brow volume and hold all day. So that is dual dimension sculpting brow pencil on one side with Density Plus fiber brow gel. And you can see, I am the perfect candidate. I'm very passionate about brows for very personal reasons, but also I know that all of you are really passionate, and it's kind of like brows should define other features. They don't necessarily have to be defining feature themselves, but I just think they definitely can frame the face and really emphasize the eye. But I also think it can, really emphasize a great haircut as well. So you don't want to miss out on the best brows of your life. And I think these two products definitely take you there. So let's even me out. Let's go to town again, starting with the pencil first. And what I'm doing now, just to reiterate, I went at the base of the brow, but now I'm, going to the top part of the brow, the very top edge, and I'm just defining that and shading and sculpting that arch. Now holding it, perpendicular to your face, you're going to lift the product through the brow with short little strokes. Lifting strokes. I know a lot of women, there are a lot of brow problems, and a lot of women have all of them or just one of them, but disappearing tails is a big one. And, we try to tweeze our arches to perfection, and then, in the process, we take away a little bit too much of the tail, and it just gets shorter and shorter until it's kind of non-existent. So I love the fact that the brow pencil is waterproof and has 16-hour wear. We're super proud of that, because when you're applying it to bare skin, which, whether it's just a hole or a scar or what have you, it's gonna last. It's gonna stay put and not let you down throughout the day. A couple of really, I think, interesting points to make is, how do I make that shape? What if you're saying, Holly, I want the perfect brow shape, but I really don't have a good brow shape? So there are a couple of rules of thumb in how you would want to space the brows, and how far apart that they are, and where your arch is at its peak best. So you would take your pencil and literally just line up the pencil with the outer edge of your nose up to, straight up, and that's where the brow should begin. Do mine begin there? Yeah, good. And then you want to take from the outer edge of the nose again, and the pencil right up to the center of the eye, and this is your perfect angle, symmetry here with the arch. And it's really interesting that we're talking about that, to mention, when you go to your esthetician or, whoever tweezes your brows, and, my grandmother always said, you tweeze your brows, you pluck a chicken. I think that's really hysterical. But wherever you go to have your brows groomed, put your brow product in there. Put your brow product in your brow before you go, because you've shaped them the way that you feel, that they look their best. And if you're going in with nothing in your brow, you know, that esthetician, if it's a new person per se, is going to shape them the way that they feel is best for you, and your face shape. So I always put it in, you know, put the brow product in, and then you, maybe even if you embellish a little bit, like I've done with the arch here and the base of the brow, then they can see that that's important to you, and that's that crisp edge and that lift that you're going for. So try it out. See, hopefully you get a better groomed brow. Now I take the Density Plus Fiber Brow Gel in taupe. Both of them are taupe for me. And I'm going to build that bridge with the fibers. I can see the hair. I mean, it just is multiplying, and it's because of the fiber. Trust me, it's not my brow hair. Well, I don't know. I wish I woke up with brows like this. I know some of you do, and God love you. But for those that have the disappearing tails, or the arches are falling, or let's just face it, you know, the brow hair is graying, it's non-existent, all those issues, never mind that. You don't have to worry. These two products, the Dual Dimension Sculpting Brow Pencil and Density Plus, they are partners. They are companions to give you the best brows of your life. And I really hope to hear from you guys after you try them, whether you try them together or separate. So whatever type of brows you're after, whether it's definition and fullness, we've got you covered at Stroke of Beauty with the Dual Dimension Sculpting Brow Pencil and the Density Plus Fiber Brow Gel in taupe or brunette. Please, if you've tried this already, you have these at home, or you get them home and want to just rave about that and leave a comment, please do so. We'd love to hear from you. Feedback is so important to us. And I think maybe we're going to be on to another video very shortly. I hope you'll join me again. I'm Holly Mordini with Stroke of Beauty. Thanks so much for joining us, and please subscribe to the channel, and all the information is in the information bar below. Thanks. Talk to you soon.